Many of you would like to learn English as quickly as possible. Well, what can we say? This is the goal of each of us. But from our own experience, we can tell you that there are people who have been studying English for more than 10 years, but their level continues to remain low. And there are people who, after just 1 year, are already able to understand up to 95% of everything they hear in English. And the difference here is not only in the individual characteristics of a person. The key point here is the approach to learning English. If someone promises you results in a couple of weeks or a couple of months, then you can ignore such offers. These methods do not deserve your attention. You have to be realistic here, and 1 year is the minimum period in which you can significantly improve your English. Keep it in mind. Our approach to learning English is based on science. To understand how to learn English most effectively, you need to understand how your brain works and how your memorization mechanisms work. Having an understanding of how these processes work, you will be able to use your time most effectively. And this is exactly what you need. You need to understand 3 basic principles that will bring you results as quickly as possible. Are you ready? Principle number 1, context. The best way to remember new information is to put it into context. In other words, you need to cover the new information with additional details, associations, or even make it the center of the plot. Here is a fragment of National Geographic's film about our memory.
If you really want to remember something, there is a way to lock in details your short-term memory might otherwise discard.
Short-term memory has an inherent limit, so as you recognize the items that you'd like to store, put them in the context, if you will, of a narrative.
That's why we try to give you as many good examples from TV series as possible in our videos. Even though you probably understood the meaning of the idiom or expression after our explanation at the beginning of the video, it is the examples from TV series that are the healthiest food for your memory. Each example has its own plot, context, sound, setting, and characters.
How did you track my phone?
Well, I don't think that really matters, and there's a perfectly reasonable...
Oh, cut it out. I can see people walking behind you.
Anytime you can link items together, connections between neurons strengthen and help move information from your short-term memory to your long-term memory, where it can later be recalled.
The more associations your brain makes when encountering a new word or expression, the more likely it is to achieve long-term memory. But the first encounter with new information is not yet a victory. It is only the first step. And our task is to help you make this first encounter more emotional and full of colors, in order to make the primary task easier for your brain. And yes, it was the understanding of this mechanics that gave birth to the idea of our channel. Principle number 2, repetition. Imagine a huge hangar with thousands of boxes stored in it. Every day you add new boxes there, and sooner or later, the old boxes will simply get lost. And if we don't want to forget where the boxes with new words and expressions are kept, we need to create a special place for them, right? The solution is very simple. When new information enters our brain, a new connection is created between special cells, neurons. And we just need to make this connection as strong as possible. So we need to revisit this connection as often as possible.
Each time you revisit a memory, the pathways between them are rewired, altering the brain physically and the memory chemically.
Repetition. This is the key to success. The more often you return to the same word or expression, the stronger the neural connection responsible for that word or expression becomes in your brain. How to organize the process of reviewing or revisiting the material covered is a task that you must solve yourself, based on your time and your capabilities. We can show you the ideal scenario on how this can be done. First, the best solution is to create lists of words and expressions that you have learned, and the most effective way would be to do it yourself. Return to these lists at least once a month. If this is too boring or old-fashioned for you, then create playlists with the videos you find most useful for you and rewatch them once a month. We have created a compilation format specifically for this purpose, where we briefly list idioms and expressions with fewer examples. Links to our compilations will be in the description of this video. Secondly, try to immerse yourself in the English language environment. Watch more TV series with simple, non-specialized everyday English. Choose bloggers with good pronunciation for you, who talk about topics that interest you. As you encounter words and expressions that you already know, your neural connections will also be strengthened. This is a simple recommendation, but you just can't imagine how effective and useful it can be for your memory. Thirdly, when you watch something new in English, try to write down in a notebook or on your phone the expressions or words that interest you most. Don't write down all the new words, especially in the early stages. Don't make your learning process a living hell. Try to enjoy it instead. And here we come to the third principle. Principle number 3, motivation. This principle applies not only to the process of memorization, but to any kind of learning. If you need to learn English, but you don't have the time or the desire to do so, then just give up. If you don't have a specific motivation or a strong desire to learn English, then there's no point in torturing yourself. Only strong, clearly formulated motivation and enjoyment of the learning process can give you good results. Why do you need to know English? Do you have an answer for yourself? Some people want to watch movies and TV series in English and understand what exactly their favorite characters say and mean. Other people are planning to immigrate to an English-speaking country and are preparing themselves for this. Someone wants to take their business to the international level. Someone likes the sound of English and wants to listen and sing in English. In any case, it is motivation that drives the learning process. It is motivation that allows us to enjoy learning. So, here are 3 basic principles that can make your learning process most effective. We have been planning to make this video for a long time, and we really hope that it will be of great benefit to you. Subscribe to the channel, use our educational videos, and enjoy the process. Good luck! All idioms, expressions, and phrasal verbs from our channel in PDF format. Links in the description.